Hidden in the heart of the wild jungle of Goa lies an animal paradise. The Treehouse, it is called. A sanctuary in particular for monkeys. A place where animals and animal lovers live in harmony. 44 monkeys, 20 cats, 6 dogs, and a dedicated, hard-working team. Primate Trust India ensures a good welfare for animals by taking care of them 24/7. Long-term care is provided to orphaned, abused, injured and ex-pet primates. The love for animals is tangible here. You feel it as soon as you enter. Animals are seen and treated as living beings, as our friends. And with such a place filled with passionate people exists for a while, various stories take shape. Stories that have to be told. In 1998, Joe and John Hicks, both animal lovers and activists, came to India and started the Primate Trust India 7 years later. John sadly passed away in 2015, and the work now continues through Joe, the local staff and the volunteers.
Well, we set up the Primate Trust because we were running a rescue centre for neutering and spaying dogs, street dogs and cats, because the Goan government had decided to pay a bounty for dogs' tails as a way of controlling the dog numbers, which was totally inefficient. People were chopping off dogs' tails for a few hundred rupees. It's not an ideal solution to dog control. And obviously the way to do it is to sterilise, and at the same time you can do them for rabies. If possible, cats as well, sterilised so there's not so many dying puppies and kittens being thrown away and just left on the streets or the beaches to die. And that's really the reason we came here. People kept bringing baby monkeys to the rescue centre, and we couldn't keep them there because of too much noise, and staff were left at 5 o'clock, so we had to start bringing the monkeys home. So we decided to form a separate charity for the monkeys, because it's really quite different to spaying and neutering the street dogs. John was in the army originally, and he went hunting with the army. They were a big hunting group in the Royal Army Veterinary Corps. They had horses there specially for hunting, and they used to support all the hunts around. And first time he went out hunting, he was against hunting, and he eventually became the chairman of the Hunt Saboteurs. He turned vegan in the army, which wasn't popular. He brought himself out to do animal welfare. Both animal lovers, but not radical until John saw what he saw in the army, and I was working kennels, breeding kennels, and seeing how those puppies were shipped off to pet shops and things. And so I went into work into rescue kennels and then got drawn into Hunt Saboteurs and everything else from there. We were fighting the hunts and also rescuing dogs and cats and campaigning against fur shops, everything you can think of really. So our group was called Animal Activists, which was really the first time that phrase had been used, and we called our group Animal Activists. And now it's become a common thing. We've got 2 species of macaques. We've got bonnet macaques, which are the local macaque, and we have rhesus macaques, which come from northern India. And we also have the langur monkeys, which are the wild forest monkeys that live around here. They're not kept as pets because they're too highly strung. A lot of differences really between the langurs and the macaques. The macaques, for ever have associated with humans, stolen from humans, lived off their scraps and lived round houses, when the langurs would rather live in the forest. They eat flowers and fruit and leaves, and they don't want to associate with humans and don't unless they have to. Because they like you were taking a dog for a walk in a dangerous place where there might be wild dogs about or dangerous dogs about, you keep your dog on the lead. We have to keep our monkeys on the lead because there's wild troops of monkeys around here.
A lot of monkeys don't like women. They can attack.
Also, they can't go into the local village and start stealing from people or jumping on people. They'd be terrified. And also, they attack each other in the cages. They have feuds going between one cage and another, and if they're let off the lead, they'll go to that cage, try and have a fight through the cage with the other monkey. So it's for their own safety and for the safety of the other monkeys in the cages.
We have many monkeys who have their finger is off. They have put hand in the cages and other monkeys bite them. So we have under control all the time them.
There's many reasons. The main one being is they've been brought up in captivity, so they don't have the means to know what food is edible, where to find food, where to find water. And the smallest viable macaque group is said to be 36 monkeys, and we can only ever get 5 together. And that's the most that we can get to live in company with each other, and you need a bigger troop than that to survive in the wild. One monkey needs to know where the water is at certain times of the year. One monkey needs to know which trees are in fruit at which times of the year, which places to avoid. Other monkeys will stand guard while they're eating. They all have their roles, and one monkey on its own stands no chance of survival, particularly if it's been hand-reared anyway.
All monkeys are rescued monkey. Some monkey are baby monkeys. The people kill the mother and away from baby from the mother. That monkey, somebody give us message to like this happens like this. Then we go there and rescue that baby monkeys.
Well, with the macaques, they're always ex-pets or ex-monkeys being kept for begging or something. You can't really call them pets. They're used for begging, or people buy them as pets, which they're totally unsuitable for. And they come to us, either they're confiscated from the person who has them, or more often the person who has them doesn't want them once they're past babyhood because they're too much trouble, and they end up on a chain in the bottom of the garden or in a small cage.
And the babies came and young ones came mostly because mothers got killed, electrocuted on an electric wire or car accidents.
All the babies, when they first come in, stay with me for at least a year. It's like having a little child. You can't put it in a cage. When they're very tiny babies, then you can give them a bottle and they'll go to sleep, and you can put them in the cage in the bedroom. But as they get bigger, they won't stay in the cage. They want to cuddle you as their mother. So they usually stay with me for about a year. Other than that, I give them to volunteers who come up and they look after them so I can get out. But usually they sleep with me for about a year. If it was a baby chimp, you wouldn't put it in a cage at night on its own, you know. So we gradually introduce them to other youngsters about their age and get them playing with them and get them monkey-fied. And we have an older female who mothers them a bit, so she looks after them as they get older for an hour or two, and we increase that gradually.
Katarina, who have been in very small cage more than 15 years. So her back legs is not normal. She cannot walk like other monkeys. She cannot jump like other monkeys. But her ego is big like stone house. So she's very lovely. His name is Raj. He's not like other male monkeys. His mind is disturbed. I cannot have any other male monkeys like this. They won't kill me. But Raj loves me. Do you? He said.
Tufty came to us as a baby. He was brought into our rescue centre by a man who said, I've just bought him as a pet, and he fell off the bike. Well, he'd obviously fallen off his bike and been dragged a long way along the road, and the man didn't admit it, but all the skin was gone off his leg and all his fingertips were worn down from trying to grasp onto the road. And the man wanted him back, but of course we confiscated him. And at that time he was a little baby. He'd only bought him that day and obviously just tied him to his bike and driven off. We had a long time healing him because he had to have a major operation to have a leg bone removed, and because he hadn't enough skin left to join the skin over the leg, and that involved changing his dressings every day and giving him antibiotic injections. So we had a long association with him, which is one of the reasons why now he's 8-9 years old, he's still friendly with humans, because he's had such a long association with the humans. So he still comes out for a walk every day, still likes people. 6 o'clock my alarm is set for, and I go down and let the puppies out, give the cats the first feed the fish, and then just the day just starts gradually then. With animals there's always something to do.
Every 2 weeks we have to change the bamboos, and every day we have to scrub the bamboos, and every week we have to put new branches in the cage.
I'm supervisor and the head of the toy department. Yes.
Our volunteers spend most of their time, I would say, making toys and entertainment for the monkeys. We're always trying to think of new things for them.
Anything and everything that they can spend their time on and that doesn't cost anything. So water bottles, put some treats in and then some paper scrap, roll it, tie it, put tape on it, and they spend a lot of time opening it and getting the things out. That's the main toy, because we get a lot of bottles.
We don't just give them tyres to swing on, we stuff food and treats in the tyres, and we use old English baby toys normally as toys for them, and we put peanut butter in those so it keeps them interested. We don't like them to be bored, and we try never to keep a monkey on its own, though that's difficult when you've got older males who are very aggressive, and we have 2 older males at the moment that are too aggressive to mix, but we always give them extra treats and extra things to do because we can't mix them with another monkey.
Actually, they're eating only fruit and vegetable. Cauliflower leaf and banana is the favorite fruit of the monkeys. We coming 8 o'clock, we cleaning cages and feeding them. Same 4 o'clock, we cleaning cages and feeding them.
We also cut branches from local trees that we know they like, particularly the langurs, who live on local leaves. They live on the same vegetables as humans with fruit, really. There's a wholesale market in Mapsa, and all gets collected there 4 times a week. It's damaged, usually damaged fruit or vegetables, or very cheap. When there's a glut of something, we get it very cheap and buy it. And we try and give them as much variety as possible.
Market fruit is all chemical water going, and vegetable is just through water. Vegetable not going to chemical water.
Each monkey each pen have separate feeding bowl. I know which monkey like which food. For example, Pixie like cauliflower only. I put Pixie's ball more cauliflower only.
Well, what we're desperate for, just wish and hope desperate for, is land to build bigger cages for them.
More space, more space.
We're searching big land for monkeys.
This facility was only supposed to be temporary for them. The forestry department, who asked us to take them originally and gave us a license to hold them, promised us land to put them on. And we said, well, we use our garden temporarily, and that was 15, 16 years ago, so that's what we're desperate for, is land, so they can all have nice big pens with trees in, particularly the langurs, who are very active monkeys, being forest monkeys. It's in their nature to be up in the trees, and so those are the ones we most want to get into big pen, but we need the land to do that.
It is a dream that somebody will continue Joe's work, but I think nobody would give their life up in the same way as Joe is committed to animals. Of course, it is 24-hour work and really your heart in it. So, heaven knows what happens. And of course, volunteers, more volunteers. That can happen.
We have a month-long programme for volunteers to stay here, 8 months of the year. We usually have volunteers living here for a month, usually someone. And we also have day volunteers who come.
I am happy here to working with monkey, and I always happy to help monkeys and help Joe, help Primate Trust. And I always helping anytime, any night when Joe is calling me, that time I am coming here helping her. That is my good job. I think I never leave this job. So I love monkey and monkey also love me. This is my first dream.
Monkey World in Dorset in England has promised that they will help us design the pens if we get the land. And I will be proud when they're in the new cages, but of course I'm proud I helped them anyway, but I would rather we had better facilities for them. Yes, that's my biggest wish, yes, get them out into nice big pens. I don't think I've sacrificed my life living in a lovely place like this. It's been my life's work, but I don't think I've sacrificed anything. I think I've benefited.